So is positive discrimination really the solution in an unequal society? And, you know, I think we've gone ahead of ourselves. We've gambled along and we've got rather ahead of ourselves, because I would say, you know, is it really a bad thing that society is unequal? Isn't...
Well, look who we have here today, Katie Hopkins, speaking at the Oxford Union. Now, this is a few years ago, but this, I would call this an evergreen topic. She's talking about positive discrimination, what's otherwise called affirmative action, or these days DEI, didn't earn it, that kind of thing. And yeah, Katie's going to talk to the students at Oxford University, many of whom I have a feeling are going to be very progressive and very much against what she has to say. But as I said, I think this is very much evergreen, because the issue of positive discrimination or affirmative action has been going on in the United States since like 1964, 65, something like that. And you know what? I think it's fair to say at this point that we have enough data to say it does not work. Okay, there's my very simple take on the whole issue. It does not work. But Katie's going to flesh the idea out some more, because not only does it not work, we shouldn't even have it in the first place, because the world is just not an equal place. Life's not fair, sweetheart.
And actually, are we looking for are we a bit bored? Are we looking for a problem where there isn't actually a problem? Is it really... I say, where did that... Hello? I'm going to come right back. I'm just going to give this a whirl. I'll come right back to you. Are we looking for a problem where there isn't actually one? Is it perhaps a terrific thing that society is unequal? Isn't inequality superb?
Yes, I agree 100%. People are simply not equal. I, personally, am not equal to the man I was 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 30 years ago. I'm nothing like within my family. We're all unequal. We're all different. Nothing there. The equality is a myth. There is no such thing as equality. Obviously, laws should be applied to the people within a country the same way, but this whole idea of changing things up, making things easier or harder for certain groups of people because of inequality is madness.
That's what I would say. I would say life is not fair. I say it to my children on a daily basis, or when I see them or contact them by phone. I say, darlings, life is not fair. Suck it up. I've written it in your book this evening so that you can refer to it when I'm no longer here to guide you with my wisdom. Sir, sit down. Sir.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name's Femi Islander.
I say.
I'm looking around the chamber tonight, and I can see possibly, I can't see down there, but about 5 people in this chamber who look like me and resemble me. So is it fair for you to say that it's not a problem that our society is necessarily unequal?
All right, if you can't hear what this guy's saying, so it looks like a black gentleman up in the balcony there saying, I only see about 5 people in this audience who look like me. So is it really fair to talk about inequality being a good thing? Let's see what Katie has to say to this guy.
Is it fair for you to use inequality and fairness to talk about things such as race and sex and gender, which aren't very visible in that way?
But I would say that, sir, you speak for 1,000 men when you speak, no? Do you not feel you speak for 1,000 men? Do you not have the power? That's how I feel about people we represent, because we represent with some force. And anyone called, Femi speaks for 1,000 men, surely. But I will come back to your point, I will. Now, I think life is not fair because we are all a little bit different, aren't we? Some of us aren't blessed in the looks department, Stuart. And we just have to... But you know, we can overcome that, can't we? We can wear a bit of a flourish or a white bow tie, and we can overcome that. Do you want to go before him?
Yeah. So in the United States, inequality in the healthcare sector, the discrimination against black individuals, results in an excess 100,000 premature black deaths per year. So those 100,000 people who are going to die this year, early because they're black. What would you say about your intellectualizing about whether inequality is, okay or right, or you put on a nice little blouse to solve it?
Sure. And I think sometimes...
Yes, so this guy, an American of course, gets up in the audience and claims that due to inequality in healthcare in the United States, and there are 100,000 extra deaths amongst black people due to this inequality in healthcare. Of course, he has nothing to back that up with. What exactly is inequality in healthcare? Does he have any proof of this? And I have a feeling, maybe somebody can correct me or back me up in the comments, while you're busy subscribing, of course, and liking, that it's simply inequality of outcome. Yeah, probably more black people of a certain age die than white people of that same age group for various reasons, because there are health differences between different groups of people in the United States. That's absolutely true. There's, if I'm not mistaken, a higher prevalence of obesity amongst certain groups of blacks, like, men or women of a certain age, I can't remember. As a result of which, there's higher incidences of certain diseases which are related to obesity. So my guess is this guy is using those kind of statistics to claim that there is inequality of healthcare. Or maybe he means that due to the fact that more blacks are, a higher percentage of the black population is poor, or very poor in the United States, they therefore do not get as good as high a quality as healthcare as as white people who have a smaller percentage of very poor people. Anyway, let's carry on.
I think we have to acknowledge that, being equal is not necessarily efficient. Just bear with me for one moment, sir. We have to sift out those people who are stupid. Now, 16% of our fantastic... One moment, sir. Sit down. I don't like your top. 16%... Sit down, sir. 6, if you can't...
Oh, Katie Hopkins, she's fantastic. Anyone who's been watching my videos for a while, and if you have, I hope you've subscribed. If not, please do now. I've got a soft spot for Katie Hopkins. She goes hardcore, she doesn't hold back, and she's funny.
I'm dressed nicely, I'm not going to talk to you. 16% of our population have an IQ lower than 85, ladies and gentlemen. That's the sort...
Ooh.
It's the...
Based and red-pilled. Wow. I haven't heard her say this before.
Down. Although I like your suit. The sort of IQ where you have to be introduced to yourself in a mirror. It's the sort of IQ where you need a cue card to remember to blink. It's a sort of IQ where you need to give an information to drink through a straw. That is 16% of our population, ladies and gentlemen. I would suggest to you that we need to let those people fail. We need to stop handing... Sit down, I said I don't like your top. We need to stop hand-holding these people. We need to allow the weak to fail, and we now need to allow the sick to die. We haven't got time to be dealing with all this. Sir, at the back. Yes, go.
I just wanted to point out that IQ is actually constructed as a statistical average with which it is necessary that...
Woo! You're boring me already, sweetheart. Sit down. Sit down!
Fantastic.
Sit down. I think we need to recognise that we need to allow these people to fail. Now, we sift those people off, don't we? We let them go to polytechnics and we let them learn about...
Well, this is brilliant. For those in America, Polytechnic, I don't think they exist in England anymore, but there were 2 levels of higher education. Various levels. There was like technical education, Polytechnic, which was sort of university level, but not quite university, but less academic, and then universities, such as Oxford, etc. Although Polytechnics, when Katie was young, that's the way the system was. In fact, one of my ex-wives went to a polytechnic in the UK, which has since been rebranded as a university. But she's kind of just making a slight dig there, a classist sort of dig.
Building and craftsmanship. We let them go, sit down, sit down. We let them go to further education to learn how to be a hairdresser and how to be a... Oh, sit down. Don't throw yourself down. And how to be a beautician. We need to...
By the way, that system which I was just describing still exists, for example, in my Western European country. as yet unnamed, and probably in other European countries. There's all sorts of different streams of education, what do we call it? Vocational, so learn to become a trade of some kind, bricklayer, butcher, hairdresser, more technical stuff, then higher level technical, and then university for very academic stuff. And I think it's a good system. It works. Why try? It's ludicrous to think that everybody is university material. They're just not, and there's no point pretending they are or trying to make them go to university if you're not cut out for it. In many ways, I wish I hadn't. I wish I had done something much more technical. But, too late for that now for me.
Funnel people, we need to channel people. Why do we want everybody to go to university? We need you people, and we need you here. We need elite sit down. We need elite societies, and that's what you guys bring. This is the elite. Society is not equal. Celebrate the fact that this is not an equal society. Yes, sir. Have you forgotten what you were going to say?
No, I'm just
Stop adjusting his glasses and crack on, sir.
I'm pleased that in addition to making a speech that seems to suggest you're a clown, you're also dressed like one.
I can't hear you.
What I want to ask you.
I can't hear you.
What I want to ask you is, how do you feel about the fact that you wouldn't have been able to vote in this country 100 years ago?
So, for those who couldn't hear him, he said, how do you feel that about the fact that 100 years ago you would not have been able to vote in this country? And I have a strong feeling, a suspicion about what she's going to say.
Is that the sort of aggressive distinction?
How on earth is me voting 100 years ago have anything to do with positive discrimination or equality?
Hierarchy and equality, and you've suggested that people who can't earn an income sufficient enough to pay for their health care should be weeded out.
I don't think talking about the suffragettes is relevant to this conversation. Sit down, please, sir. Yes, sir, at the top in the red.
Oh, that was a while ago, but I was going to say, wouldn't you all agree that you fit into that IQ category?
I could not hear what that guy asked. I like how she blew out the last guy, though.
I don't mind if you think I fit into that category. I don't mind that at all. What I really care about is that people accept my perspective that we do not need positive discrimination, because all of you don't want to be equal. None of you want to be equal. All of you want to be better than the rest, and that's what I believe. An unequal society. You've taken your top off.
That was just an excellent point she just made. Yeah, she's talking to students at Oxford University who obviously want to be more elite. They want to be better. They want to stand out. They've worked hard to get there, for the most part. They're intelligent, and they've worked hard and used and exploited their intelligence to get there. Of course, they don't want to be equal. That's the very last thing they want to be. Really? Do they want to be as equal as the person who flunked out of secondary school? No, obviously not. Do they want to be movers and shakers and leaders in society tomorrow and in the future? Yes. So, yeah, her thesis is just obviously correct, right on the face of it. The whole point of trying to make everything equal is evil. It is satanic. It is against natural law, against nature. Nothing is equal. And Katie Hopkins is doing a very good job of getting this point across. So let me know what you think about this whole idea in the comments. And if I haven't already mentioned it, please do subscribe and like. It really helps me grow the channel and continue making content for you.